What up, bro? Welcome to a new episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere. Brandon Janeau Show. Social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Brandon Janeau Show. And of course, social media of course, YouTube channel, largest YouTube channel, Brandon Janeau Show, man. Go subscribe, comment, and do comment back. Let's do it, man. Been a minute. Been a minute, man. So let's get into it, man. Tonight it is wrestling life. And I will be doing another top 10 episode like I did last week. I'm doing another one. Um, Tonight it is on the one, the only, the OTC, the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. I'm doing his top 10 list. My top 10 matches of Roman Reigns' career. Crazy as it sounds, he's got a couple. Like, he got a couple of my favorite matches. I went back to watch some of these bitches. I'm like, shit, it's not bad. Like, he, he got a couple. Um, So let's get into it, man. Y'all already know I do my top 10. I go from 10 to 1. You know, something easy, something simple. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. Starting off at number 10 is Roman Reigns versus the late, great Bray Wyatt. Hell in a Cell 2015. It's kind of funny. It's funny watching people on social media try to say how Roman Reigns is run in recent times is so great that it just completely overshadows what he did in the 2015s. And I'm watching this shit and I'm like, oh, you kids weren't alive. Oh, you really wasn't watching wrestling at this time. Roman was fucking hated. People could tell the WWE was trying to push him into like this John Cena, corporate guy, number one baby face shit, and people just fucking rebelled. Fucking rebelled. And you kind of be surprised in 2015 he lost. He lost at WrestleMania. He didn't even win a belt. Like, he didn't win a belt at the end of 2015 going into 2016. But this rivalry with him and Bray Wyatt was really dope. Actually, this was the rivalry because they, you know how they do that dumbass will they, won't they exist, coexist shit. Yeah, well, this was the rivalry. This was at the time when, the iconic Bray, Sister Abigail's, I think, Alberto, Alberto Del Rio, and he points to Roman and tells him to spear Sheamus. This was that. This was this rivalry. So them fighting in Hell in a Cell was an amazing match. If you actually have never seen it, go watch it on Peacock. I don't know if it's on YouTube. I can't really tell you. I think it is. I can't really tell you. I got it on Peacock. I watched it and it was dope. So yeah, um, yeah, one of my favorite matches by him. And Bray and him actually have really good chemistry, which is really, really saying a lot. So, because it was hard to find somebody that could really have a chemistry with Bray, and he could really go in there with Roman. So, yeah. Um, Coming in number 9. Remember when I said Roman didn't win a belt until at the end of 2015? He won that Survivor Series. That was the first time he actually won the WWE Championship, and then he lost it literally 5 minutes later to Sheamus. Then they gave him the belt back in December, at the end of Christmas, around Christmas time in 2015, going into 2016. Then he lost it in the Royal Rumble, and then then he won it at WrestleMania. Okay, so speed you right up to 2016. But his first rivalry for the WWE Championship, y'all remember who it was? AJ Styles, and they had not one but two matches. But for me, the match they had at Extreme Rules is fucking phenomenal. That shit was good. Fucking beat the lovely shit out of each other. They beat the hell out of each other. It was amazing. It was incredible. Um, AJ is one of the best performers in the ring ever. I mean, I've watched AJ since he was in TNA. So him being in WWE, and this is the first time AJ Styles, by the way. This was AJ Styles in WWE for the first time. Like he wrestled, um, he wrestled Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 32, and then his first rivalry was Roman Reigns. So, and then on top of that, the first time they put him in a ring with someone in WWE was Roman Reigns. So to have them wrestle for the WWE Championship in two really great matches, that Extreme Rules match was fucking phenomenal. It was crazy. Um, so yeah, again, go watch it. I think it's on YouTube. If not, Peacock. So yeah. Number 8. So speaking of a person that it took a long fucking time to have chemistry with, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. They matched like all in fucking like all in water. It just never was good. The WrestleMania 31 match is only good because Brock got bust open and Seth came out and cashed in Money in the Bank. Outside of that, that was just a complete and utter ass whooping. They had another match at Crown Jewel, the steel cage match. That was pretty good. They had another match at Crown Jewel. Roman did become finally the tribal chief. But the best match that they ever had, and still to this day, it's probably one of their best matches, and probably will ever be their best match, is SummerSlam 2022, the Last Man Standing match. That is the best match they ever fucking had. It's not even close. It's literally not even close. Um, Roman and Brock were cool. Like it was okay, but their rivalry, it really did feel like Vince was just trying to force that, and it just never felt organic. And the first time you get a a proper Roman and Brock match, think about this for the first time. Think about this for a second. The first time we actually got a real, actual, proper Roman and Brock match, it was Triple H. Think about that. The first and last time we ever see Roman and Brock fight each other, the last time we ever see Brock and Roman fight each other, the best match they had is when Triple H took over creative. Now, of course, Vince came back, but that was the first time we saw what Triple H could do with this. And he went out there and did that. Just saying. Just saying. That shit was crazy though. The tractor, he put this man out the fucking ring. Oh, that shit was good. At number 7, that shit's nuts. At number 7, speaking of a person that Roman has actually had really good chemistry with, they had two matches. Three really, but it's two matches to me. And that is Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. 2015 Fastlane. In 2021 SmackDown. The last match Daniel Bryan had in WWE. They have a credible chemistry. It's kind of like AJ and Roman, like the dynamic, because I guess they're smaller than him. He can do a lot more shit that he needs to do. He could take the aggressive big man role in the matches, But yeah, that match was phenomenal. Them two matches with them two were incredible. Um, Daniel Bryan now being the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. I'll be back with my family tomorrow on Straight Through the Ropes to talk about that. Um, but them two have incredible chemistry, amazing chemistry. So I'm not surprised that them two put on two classic matches uh, in 2015 and then in 2021. Like that shit is nuts. But yeah, speaking of a person that has amazing chemistry with Roman again, the only guy that I've actually seen that is actually Roman's size or a little bit bigger than Roman, and they actually had really great matches, and that is Roman versus Drew McIntyre. But one particular match, Clash at the Castle. Clash at the Castle, man. 2022. This shit was great. The crowd, the fact Roman came out by himself, no Paul Heyman, no Sammy, no Usos. This was also the debut of Solo Sikoa on the main roster. Everything about this match. They had an incredible match at Survivor Series too, but this match was fucking phenomenal. Like, and this is actually the arc of what Drew McIntyre is on now. This was the beginning of him turning heel because he's right. He kept getting screwed over. He's not lying. He actually is true. This is actually the truth. He got screwed over by the bloodline. But the fact of the matter is, this was the match, man. This was the best match in a string of matches for Roman at this time with the bloodline. This was one of the best matches Roman could have asked for at that time. The story was perfect. It set up Solo coming into the bloodline, becoming the new enforcer. It gave Drew a different, you know, push. It was perfect. Like this was the rivalry. This was the match. This was if you look back on the bloodline storyline, you're gonna say what was the match that made you realize this storyline was what people say. What's that word? Cinema. What was the match? People are gonna say this one. This was the peak. This was the beginning of the peak of the Bloodline storyline. This was it. Sammy had just joined it. The Usos and Jay and Sammy was starting to have that little friction. This was the beginning of that. That was the begin. This was the beginning of that. It was perfect, man. That it was like the match was actually like 40 40 minutes, some shit like that. Like it was a long match, but you could never see a point where it was like long and boring. Like it was a really good fucking match. The fucking it was great. It was a great match, man. It was a really great match, man. All right, so let me do a recap before I go into the top five. So at number 10, Roman versus Bray, Hell in a Cell 2015. Number 9, Roman versus AJ Styles Extreme Rules 2016. Number 8, Roman versus Brock SummerSlam 2022. Number 7, Roman versus Daniel Bryan 2015 2021. And number 6, Roman versus Drew McIntyre uh, Clash at the Castle 2022. You know, a match that's probably one of the best in Roman's runs as the Tribal Chief with the Universal Championship. It also happened in 2022. Like I said, this was a strain of matches where this shit was good. And one of those matches was Logan Paul at Crown Jewel 2022. This was Logan Paul's third match, I think, in the company at the time. And he fought Roman. And I remember me and pretty much everybody in the wrestling community was like, why the fuck is Logan Paul getting a title match against Roman Reigns and he's only been in the WWE for 3 fucking matches. This will be his third match. The fuck is happening? I'm happy to say I was wrong because this match was fucking amazing. God Almighty, this was probably one of the best matches that really cemented Roman's reign at the championship's position. 2020, when he won the belt, he had some matches, some okay matches. 2021, same. But 2022 is where the peak Roman Reigns title bloodline saga really kicked into another gear. And this is one of those matches. Logan Paul and Roman Reigns went out there and had a fucking battle. Fucking phenomenal. That fucking picture of Logan flying through the air and Roman just sitting there waiting for him. Oh, that shit was great. Like, yo, that match is fucking phenomenal. This is probably the best match that Roman could have asked for during his time as a champion because a lot of people felt like this title reign was starting to feel stale. It was like, all right, I was at this time saying, okay, Roman needs to drop the belt. Like, this shit is ridiculous. He's not really fighting nobody. It's not really anything that I'm really caring about. The storyline was okay at the time. Sammy wasn't Sammy yet at that time with that storyline. It was okay. But this was when it boom. You had the segment where Roman comes out and and Roman gets in the ring with them, and then Sammy breaks everybody in the ring. When he says, Jay hasn't been feeling very oozy, and it just set the stage, and then Roman goes off and fights Logan, and then of course it goes into the Drew, and then the Bloodline storyline goes into a fucking ultra drive. Like what then you get, you know, the War Games match. It was just like, yo, this shit is crazy. All of this shit was good. So this was the time where the Roman Reigns Bloodline story just really just took it to another level. And yeah, coming in at number 4. Speaking of that Bloodline storyline, the matches that really started the Bloodline storyline. Roman versus Jay. Um, all in 2021. Well, 2020, I should say. Roman wins the belt August 30th from The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman at um, Payback. I think it was the pay per view. So he wins the belt at Payback. The first rivalry he has is with Jey Uso, his cousin. Their first match at Night of Champions was really fucking good. Like, really fucking good. Their second match is what I think has made people think Jay can be the guy. Because that second match between them and Hell in a Cell, I Quit match, that might be one of my favorite Hell in a Cell matches of all time. It's up there. That match is so fucking good. It told a story. This was the beginning of Roman being like, I'm the head of the table. I'm the tribal chief. You know, acknowledge me. Shit like that. That was the beginning of that. That's when he really took that over. I say this all the time. The Night of Champions matchup between them two was more so about just being the champion. It wasn't really about being the tribal chief. The Hell in a Cell match is when it became about being the head of the table, the tribal chief. He was saying it, but he wasn't selling it. This was the match, Hell in a Cell. That's when he became, I'm selling this shit. I want you to be, I need to be champion to be, you know, the head of the table. You're not ready to be that. You can't fathom being that. So for him, you know, that and the Night of Champions match wasn't bad. Like, it's actually really fucking good. It's actually one of the best matches Jey Uso's probably ever had in his career. And I'm talking about even now. That probably was one of his best matches he's ever had. This that rivalry kicked off the bloodline. It kicked off the bloodline. Like it literally fucking kicked off the bloodline. He became the right hand man from that moment on, and that was the rivalry. And those two matches are phenomenal. Now, clearly, you see, I didn't put the third match on there, which was the SummerSlam match, because that was also the match that I realized Jey Uso is not worth ready to be a champion. He's not. He can't. Those two matches, I think, also had something that SummerSlam match did. Fans. I think because it was so intimate and it was so. See, this is why I also say I didn't really hate the pandemic wrestling like everybody else did. I could do sometimes without the fucking fans because sometimes the fans don't know whether to cheer or boo. They're quiet due some situations. It's like you can't really tell how the fans are moving off of a match sometimes, and I hate being sometimes, and I love being at going to wrestling events because it's awesome. But sometimes the fans fuck up the wrestling event because they don't because it's they're picky. I think that's why I love the matches that they had in 2020 because it was no fans. It was just them two in the ring going at each other. You can hear Roman say, "I want him to acknowledge me. Like, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. I don't care. I don't want you to say that, Paul. I want him to say it. I want him to acknowledge me." In 2020, when they fought again at SummerSlam, that shit was boring. It was long. It was long, drawn out. It was just too fucking long and boring. But the two matches they had in 2020, if you told me those two matches would be the two matches and that's it between them two, I would tell you, like everybody's now still saying, Jay should probably be a champion one day. But now that he's been out on his own for a while and I've seen him wrestle without his family, no, he shouldn't be a champion one fucking day. Yeah, US, yeah, Intercontinental, but not World Heavyweight. Like, no, no. I actually think he's gotten worse with the fans coming back. Because when he was in there by himself without the fans and it was just him and Roman in the ring, he was actually good. Like I think he plays too much off the fans, and I think that's kind of why I think I don't have that same type of umph when I see Jey Uso now. Like because I think he plays too much off the fans. I think he cares too much about what the fans want, and it's like nah. Coming in number three, they've had some great matches too. I like their match at TLC 2021. Oh no, 2020. But Roman and Kevin Owens is another two people that get in the ring and they just clash and they are awesome together. But that match they had at Royal Rumble 2017, I have literally stated might be one of the greatest matches that Royal Rumble has ever seen. Like it's one of the like non-Royal Rumble type like non-Royal Rumble match. This is probably the greatest Royal Rumble match, non-title match. I would probably say if John Cena doesn't win his 16th and ties Ric Flair, this might be the best championship match after Triple H and Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Captain Jack. This shit was good. The brutality of it, the brutality of it. It was a no disqualification. Chris Jericho in a shark cage match. And at some points, you didn't even realize Chris Jericho was in a fucking shark cage because they were just beating the shit out of each other. Like it was fucking incredible. Oh my god, it was so good. This match was phenomenal. If you've never seen this match, I don't know if it's on YouTube. It is on Peacock. If you've never seen this match, go watch this match. This is why I say all the time. I don't care how crazy it is. Roman and Kevin, when they get in a ring together, it's fucking phenomenal. It's fucking phenomenal. Like it's you have to watch it. You have to watch the match. So yeah, coming in number two. Speaking of somebody that just has absolute chemistry with this man, Seth Rollins. You already know. Seth is one of my favorite wrestlers. Seth versus Roman, Money in the Bank, 2016, and Royal Rumble, 2022. Like I said last week when I did sets, it's about the story in 2022. The Shield story in 2022. The riff of the guitar, the riff, when you first hear the Shield music pop in St. Louis, and Roman just like looking the fuck around, like, what the fuck is happening? That was the first time Roman was off his game as a tribal chief. He had been in certain situations, but that was the first time you saw actual concern of like, what the fuck? He out mind gamed Roman, which was something that at that time just didn't fucking happen. He comes out in the Shield gear in the first couple minutes of that match, like the first 7 minutes of that match. Roman is getting his ass whooped. Shit, this man Shield bombed him through a fucking an announce table, stump, all of this shit, beat the hell out of Roman, and didn't lose to Roman. Seth won the match. Seth won the match. Like, it's crazy. But their match, at Money in the Bank 2016 is the match that made me realize Seth is just better than Roman. I don't give a shit how many times you want to slice it and dice it. Seth is better than Roman. Seth, Money in the Bank 2016. They had maybe a 30-minute match in Vegas for the WWE Championship. First match for Seth since tearing his ACL, MCL, all that, coming back, and he beat Roman Reigns clean. Beat him clean. Seth's the best Shield member. Roman's the best character. Great. Seth's the best Shield member. He's the best wrestler. The man can evolve. 2016 Money in the Bank. If you haven't seen that match, I advise you. That is on YouTube. I know that's on YouTube. I would advise you to go watch that match. That match is amazing. And at number one, come on, you knew it was at number one. WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40. That is both Cody Rhodes. WrestleMania 39 might be the greatest WrestleMania main event I've ever seen in my life. I watched that match. I probably watched that match more than I've watched any WrestleMania main event ever. The only WrestleMania match I probably watched more than that is probably Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25. That match, WrestleMania 39, I don't know if it's just the aura of just the moment, or maybe us feeling like as fans that Cody was actually going to finish the story. I don't know. From the entrance of both, the entrance of Roman in that fucking WrestleMania 39 is goat shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I know he got a new entrance and all that shit, but that 39 WrestleMania 39 entrance is Hall of Fame quality worthy WrestleMania. I did this shit for real, for real. I do this shit for real, for real. Worthy greatness. Like, that shit was great. WrestleMania 40 Cody Roman was great. They started with the hits, and it just kept fucking escalating. Perfect. Those two matches are going to put Roman in the Hall of Fame by themselves. And it actually put Cody in the Hall of Fame by themselves. So, yeah. Let me recap it, man. Number one, Roman versus Cody. The last two WrestleMania main events. Number two, Roman versus Seth. Money in the Bank 2016, Royal Rumble 2022. Number three, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, Royal Rumble 2017. Number four, Roman versus Jey Uso, the start of the Bloodline storyline. Number five, Roman versus Logan Paul, Crown Jewel 2022. Number six, Roman versus Drew McIntyre, Clash at the Castle, 2022. Number seven, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, 2015 and 2015 Fastlane, 2021 SmackDown. Number eight, Roman versus Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2022. Number 9, Roman versus AJ Styles, Extreme Rules 2016. And number 10, Roman versus Bray Wyatt, Hell in a Cell 2015. Y'all already know what's going to lead into this. Next week, I'll be doing Wrestling Debate. Wrestling Life, the debate, and it will be Roman versus Seth. It's time to do it. It's going down. Can't wait. But until next time, I am Brandon Janeau. You guys enjoy. Peace.